What's going on, everybody? This your boy King Germ, one half of Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Each and every Friday, Queen Germ and myself drop an episode to show the people how Pod and Saved Our Marriage. Now, we're not like most married couples. Most of the time we disagree, but that's the beauty of the show. So, when you get through listening to Sparrows on the Review, come give us a listen. Each and every Friday on any DSP, go look for Pod and Saved Our Marriage.
When I watch Amazon stuff...
Listen, you're not even going to start this one. I am. So y'all remember those, like when you go to watch TV and you're on like an Android TV? Is that what it is that we have?
Yeah.
They're Android-based TVs. And they always have those movies at the top that are flowing through that they're promoting. So we come across this one movie and I see John Cena and Idris Elba.
A Boba, yeah.
You say it how you say it, I say it how I say it. It don't matter. So I see it and I'm like, a John Cena movie I ain't seen yet. A John Cena movie that I haven't seen advertised. And I just want to know why. So I pop into it and I look at it. Next thing you know, it's a Prime movie.
Right. And I'm a little scared because, I don't have any affiliation with Amazon whatsoever.
Right.
Like, I mean, I don't even buy stuff from them, technically.
Right. That's where you get your birthday gifts from.
Yeah.
Or I get your birthday gifts from.
Right. So, Prime TV, I look at this stuff sometimes. Mm-hmm. I see it, like, it comes up in things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
But I don't get involved. And, we were outside.
Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, that's Prime. We don't pay for that. I said, bet.
And I couldn't believe...
have an Amazon Prime subscription, so I get free delivery. That's not an advertisement, but that's the reason why I have it, is so I can get free delivery.
And had I known this, I would have been watching the cartoons on there, because there's some gangster cartoons I want to watch, like a superhero joint.
Okay.
And I'm not skeptical of them because they bought MGM Studios.
Okay.
So I knew bona fide for a second that they made another quality movie we watched, but I can't think of the name of it right now.
Right. Well, I went in with the thought of, okay, this is a Prime movie, so it's going to give me the similarities of like a Netflix original movie or a Hulu original movie. I don't have any information in front of me to give any details about the movie, like behind the scene type thingies. So to me, I was under the assumption this is not a theatrical release type movie. This is for straight to home type movie.
Right.
And I'm just like, okay, so I know it's probably not going to be a high budget movie. So things are going to be a little bit, I don't know how to say this without sounding rude. Things aren't going to be and look 100%. They have to stay within their budget. And that's the first thing I noticed in the first few minutes. I seen it and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is definitely a Prime movie.
Right. So what I did was when we knew John Cena, I went back to a vacation movies he's been in. Two of those.
Friends?
Yeah, Vacation Friends 1 and 2 that he did over with Hulu.
Yeah.
And I'm like, John Cena's turning into that dude that does the straight to streaming service movies, which I appreciate this. I want to say it before we even get started, because as we go through this review, I'll tell my feelings about what I liked about it or what I didn't like. But I was like, wow, this is a step up from my normal.
Yeah.
And my thing is, I don't go in comparison to Netflix movies. But then I went back and I thought, we watched a movie with Gerard Butler that was an Amazon movie. Gerard Butler, homeboy from the black guy that was from The Good Wife and from Luke Cage. They were in an airplane.
Planes,
yeah.
Oh.
And I was like, yo, this has got a better budget. It had to have we don't have any information. Our normal Wikipedia, we're doing a freestyle. I don't know what the budget is, and we might go correct something. We don't correct anything. We're just going to go off the...
Y'all are going to have to look and leave a comment below and let us know how fudged up we did on this one.
But it was like, the movie had good... Like, at the very beginning, it had a lot of star power.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're spending money on these actresses and this actor, mainly Idris Elba, because he is famous and everybody knows I know him from Luther. That's my show. We do need to watch it one day. Okay. At least one episode so you'll understand.
Yeah.
And, he's basically the guy that should have been James Bond a long time ago.
Okay.
Then you have John Cena. John Cena has a weird niche because he's doing movies on every streaming service.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Right.
got
I feel like, and this isn't this probably isn't what it is, but I feel like John Cena is going hard and heavy in everything right now, so that way he can maybe retire. Like, that's the feeling I'm getting, kind of.
right. Because just switching to the wrestling world, we know that he's on a plane to retire now.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing was he was doing either Honda or Toyota commercials as a voiceover.
Well, there's another guy out there that sounds like him, and it's not him.
Okay.
Because I remember one day I'm like, oh snap, John Cena's doing this commercial. And then I got an extended version, because you know how they have different versions out there.
Yeah.
And I heard a little bit more of the voice. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not him.
Right. But I mean, we've seen a lot of
Right,
him, and
right.
with his presence coming back for his
Mhm.
final tour of wrestling, and like he had to film this movie prior.
Right.
So he's doing stuff like that. And then in August, he has his television show coming back on called
okay.
Peacemaker Season 2.
Yeah.
So he's on Max, Hulu,
Amazon.
Amazon. And I mean, no offense, if you're doing them, you can just stay away from Netflix. You don't even have to take
he might even have one on Netflix.
He might have
I
a
haven't
Netflix
seen.
joint out there. You know, The
Yeah.
Rock's over there. So
Right. We
you
don't get on Netflix very often.
right. And to me, like, we don't have to go into the story of this movie. When I seen the first lady that was in this movie, I'm like, yo, that's my lady that used to have a show on ABC that married Nick Jonas. Or one of the Jonas brothers. She married one of the Jonas brothers.
Nick is the younger one out of the three.
The one that had the good solo career. He had that one song.
I mean, it probably is him.
Yeah. Well, the lady.
Yeah, because Joe married Sophie Turner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was Nick then. I don't know.
And the other brother that sings but don't play instruments, we don't know what he does. When I seen him at the Tiny Desktop thing.
Well, there's Kevin, Joe, and Nick are the oldest three.
Yeah.
And then it goes in that order. Kevin, Joe, and Nick. And then Kevin did his whole family thing first. And
Right.
then Joe and Nick were doing solo stuff.
Right. But Nick's the one that took off. Because he had that one song.
Nick took off, better known to us.
Right. Joe might be doing.
It's just a matter of opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to them. But either way, I cannot pronounce the girl's name. You know her name. If you had your information, you would know it. And I'm sorry, guys, that this is kind of like this. We're just sitting here.
Is her first name Priyanka?
Yeah, Priyanka. Yes,
Yeah,
that is her name.
Priyanka.
And she had a real
or something like that.
Yeah.
It starts with a C, maybe.
And she had a real big show on ABC. Don't
Okay.
remember the name of it. She was like part of the
I
CIA.
didn't watch it.
Yeah, but it was popular, and then it
Yeah.
just went off. And we ain't heard from her since.
Okay. Well, I'm not afraid to talk about that first scene that I saw. So when we first saw it, we started watching it outside, and then I got too tired. I was ready for bed, and so we shut it off, and we were gonna watch it another day with my dad.
Yes.
So we started it today, and he took off on us. Wouldn't stick around. And yesterday I thought she got shot and she had a vest on. And then today when I watched it, I looked at her back and it looked like she had a little hole. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe she didn't have a vest on, but I don't see anything on the front. And I'm just like, these people are that attuned to see these things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
the issues, the problems, making sure somebody's deceased or whatever. And they miss noticing that she doesn't have a bullet hole. Like, that's my first complaint.
Right.
That doesn't make sense there.
But with all that tomato stuff being thrown, she had red stuff on her.
Yeah, but
But if
looking at her, like, it would have been different if she would have had like a bullet hole somewhere.
Right.
Because, you know, it's going to go through her shirt into the Kevlar. But there was no like burn or residual on her.
Right at all.
Residue, that's what I mean.
And you would
not
think as them
residual.
being top operatives and assassins that they would.
Yeah, they would have caught that.
Right. And throughout the movie with the rest of the kills that they did or the unaliving that they did, they were on point. Like, boom.
Right.
Straight to the head.
Right. It was
But-
just that first scene to me. It made me look at it and I'm just like, yeah, this is a low budget movie.
And then it foretells a story of what they do to the guy that they were sloppy with how they took out certain people.
Yeah.
Because both of them, because he ended up being alive at the end of the movie, we
Right.
thought he was gone.
Right.
Because the way we heard it, he had the grenade in his hand, and we heard a pow.
Yep.
So I'm just like, the two.
It was really good about keeping you wondering
on your toes.
Like it didn't give away to me that she was deceased at first. Like I just expected because I seen her on the front of the movie. So I'm just like, yeah, they're not gonna take her out in the first few seconds. So either it was a through and through and she lived, they saved her life, or she had some Kevlar on and we're going to continue on with the movie.
Right. Because with her star power and stuff, why waste her, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought too.
Oh.
And as you go through the progression of this movie.
Well, see, I didn't even think that because like I said, I haven't seen anything that she's been in.
Okay.
That's acceptable. That I'm aware of. So to me, it was just like, but like I said, I seen her on the front cover, so I knew they weren't going to get rid of her that fast.
Right. And as the movie plays out, you hear about a feud between John Cena and Idris Elba.
So John Cena was the president of the United States, and also a movie star. So he was famous, and then became president. And then you had Idris Elba's character. He was
the prime minister
of Britain, and he had the militia background.
Yes.
Because I don't want to say military because I don't know if that's what they call it over there.
Right.
Whatever.
Malicious one.
Yeah.
And they already had internal and external problems that were brought up in the first like encounter, and that was great storytelling. And
right.
And when I always talk about character development, from that point on, I was sold on the movie.
Right.
But I will have to admit something to the audience and to you. This was the first movie, because when I watch movies, I don't normally touch my phone.
Yes, you do. That's a lie, and I'm going to call you out on it right now. There has never been a time in the last 2 years that we have sat down to watch a movie that you haven't picked up that damn phone. You are stuck on that thing like glue. I can't even get you to spend the night in a house somewhere with no internet service because you are so attached to that phone. So try again, sir.
Well, I felt like I spent a little bit more time on my phone during this movie. Because like I would watch sequences, and as the movie was playing out, in the middle of this movie, it was really drawn. Their conflict, they were building a good conflict, but when it came time, like that rising action to get to the conflict, like I didn't care too much for the fact about the vice president deal because it really was jumbled up and fast.
What do you mean?
Like I'm saying, it wasn't like they set up.
That's what happens whenever your president dies. Automatically your vice president is sworn in, and they swore her in and she jumped into action because he was gone. But
what I'm saying is like the guy that they had set up for it, I was just getting into his story heavy, and then they just switch it up real quick, a quick switcher.
Oh, well, I mean, it did what it needed to, in my opinion.
And all of the fighting scenes and everything else and the explosions, I really appreciated that because we all know that everybody has to take after Michael Bay and make crazy explosives. But this one, and some of the weapons that were used, like rocket launchers, grenade launchers, these people weren't just shooting with guns.
Right.
And the two operatives, the female and male, to see the way the female unalived her own self was crazy because she was out there whipping it with the grenade launcher. This movie had no problem throwing grenades at people.
Right.
And it wasn't like a Jason.
It was very action filled,
right? But it wasn't like a Jason Statham or Liam Neeson type. I'm just gonna kill you, or John Wick type action. People got killed, but it was like some moving around and doing some things. And I'm not saying killing never makes sense. I'm just saying that the sequence of events made sense,
right?
And even
the points that they were trying to make in the movie made sense.
The crashing and everything, and then. My cinematography and my great cinema moment in this movie is when they have the issue in the rocket launcher from the plane that's supposed to take out Idris. The storyline they do for him very quick. His story is told in less than 30 seconds.
Well, that if you didn't notice, that's how it was in the movie,
right?
And I think that it added the comedy to it.
Right.
Because it's like, oh, well, you know, a long story or whatever. And it just throws a real quick thingy for us to catch on to. And it's like they never explain the stories to each other.
Right.
So it's just like, okay.
Right. And I like that.
And I enjoyed that. It was funny. My most oh my gosh moment, I think, was the dude with the stairs.
Yeah, when his neck hit the steps, it was so painful I hollered.
Yep.
I was like, oh.
Yep. And that's when my dad came back in, and my mom and dad both had to have neck surgery. My mom had 4 different spots done. My dad had 3 done. So I looked straight over them, and I'm just like, oh, is their neck not hurting or something? Like, God.
And they didn't cringe or anything.
Nope.
I thought they would have been like,
Yep.
They probably thought that would have fixed their neck.
Yep.
But overall, for this movie, I will say it was fairly enjoyable. This is something that where we're in the summer spirit, like around 4th of July type time, or any time that I got a group of people that
Right.
like.
If I need some comedy and action thrown in with a group of people,
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw it in one. Like it's probably not gonna be one of those where I'm just like, ooh, hey, let me watch that one movie with John Cena in it. No, but I will recommend it as long as I remember it.
Right, and that's one thing I will take away from this and say that, yo, Amazon, I'm gonna hit y'all up for another movie, you know, if it's advertised to me like that. And that's one other thing I want to put in here before we get off here.
Mhm.
It's weird how we're getting advertised movies because this
Right.
is
Well, see, I'm sorry to cut you off. I've done that a lot today. I apologize.
it's cool.
It's just, you know, my memory. If I'm not doing it now, then you know I'm gonna forget. So it's not like I'm trying to be mean to him, guys. I promise. I didn't see a single advertisement on TV, TikTok, or nothing about this movie.
Just like Straw.
Yeah.
Well, Straw.
Well, I saw Straw a lot on TikTok, so yeah.
But it's like it didn't. There was no major like build up to this.
Right.
It's like I hate to say this. Some of these I call it straight to DVD because I'm old school. Straight to streaming service movies are almost getting to the point where they're almost better than some theatrical releases.
Yeah, I mean, these bigger theaters are just getting expensive. Which, I mean, I get it. You know, they've got to charge more because food's getting more expensive, paying the staff, all of that stuff. You know, it's just all getting expensive. But, you know, you go into one of these big chains and watch a movie, and 2 people, you're lucky to come out of there spending less than $100.
Right. And then only thing I'll give to the theaters, at least they're having more. They give me a reason to go to the theater. Like when that Fantastic Four movie comes out, I hate to do it, but I'm gonna drop $80 on that Galactus bucket.
Right.
Am I gonna?
But at the same time, you could go in and buy that bucket and watch it at home in 2 weeks.
Right. Well, that's probably what I want to do.
Right.
So I'm JR.
And I'm Stacey. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to head on over to Facebook and TikTok and give us a follow. And then leave us a comment down below and let us know what you think and what you want to hear next week.